This is the Global Economic Scrap Metal Commodities Recycling Report by BENLEE Roll-Off Trailers and Lugger Trucks, February 4th, 2019. Last week, prices and economic reports were mostly mixed. U.S. steel production rose slightly to 1.922 million tons on continued tariff protection against mainly Mexico, Canada, and others. China has been minimally affected by this, in that President Obama initiated dumping tariffs years ago that mostly stopped China's steel imports into the U.S. Oil rose $1.66 a barrel to $55.35 on OPEC cutbacks and a slow-growth global economy. U.S. oil production maintained the record of 11.9 million barrels a day. Moving to more renewable sources in the U.S. and exporting more oil to reduce our trade deficit is great for job creation. Iron ore rocketed up $11 a ton to $86.50 in reaction to the horrific Brazilian dam collapse at a Vale iron ore site. Hundreds of people are dead and missing. Scrap steel #1 was steady at $298 a gross ton, with good but slowing global demand. February scrap prices remain in flux, with downward pressure on primes and a mixed picture on cut grades. Hot-rolled coil steel rose slightly to $33.64 per hundred as Nucor and others announced a price increase. With automotive and housing down, it's not clear if the increase will stick. Copper rose 4 cents to $2.77 on strong U.S. jobs data, interest rate stabilization, and good China trade news. Aluminum was up a half a penny to 84.97 cents, remaining actually low on global slowing. Global steel production rose 4.6% in 2018, with China manufacturing almost 11 times U.S.'s production. India became the world's second largest steel producer, jumping ahead of Japan. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office released a forecast saying that 2018 economic growth was 3.1%, 2019 will be 2.3%, and then slowing to a very slow 1.7 to 1.8% in the coming years. We need to get this to 3% and more. China's January manufacturing index fell to 48.3 from December's 49.7, and since under 50, that means contraction. China is the third largest market for the U.S. goods that we actually make here, so this is bad news. Also, China makes about half the world's steel and consumes about half the world's copper, so slower growth in China is a negative for commodity prices. January's U.S. consumer sentiment settled at 91.2, above the preliminary estimate of 90.7, but it was the weakest sentiment since President Trump was elected. The end of the government shutdown caused only a mild boost to that number. Jerome Powell of the Federal Reserve had a press conference saying that due to concerns about the U.S. and global growth slowing, the Fed is on hold for further interest rate increases. Bad news about the slowing, but it's good news about holding interest rates. January's U.S. jobs report had 304,000 jobs created, which was mostly in the leisure and hospitality areas, which grew actually the most, followed by construction. A great report. January's percent of people 16 years age or older that can work rose to 63.2% as people that have been sitting home have come back into the workforce. This means that about 27% of the possible workforce is still not working. January's U.S. unemployment rate rose to 4.0%, which is good, not bad news. It's up because more people are looking for work versus sitting home. Wall Street's Dow Jones was up a big 872 points to 25,601. The Dow's January 7% rise was the best month since 1989. Keep in mind December was the worst December in 30 years. Strong job creation and steady interest rates drove the Dow higher. BENLEE remains the #1 roll-off trailer manufacturer in the U.S. You can buy directly from BENLEE. You can also rent BENLEE trailers by the week, by the month, or by the year. Just call Vicki at Premier Truck Sales and Rental, and she will take care of your needs. As always, feel free to call or email me with any questions, and we hope all have a safe and profitable week.